The silk scarf, a vibrant splash of crimson against the muted tones of their bedroom, smelled not just of sandalwood and lavender, but of a cloying, sweet floral, a cheap imitation Maya had once dismissed as department store air freshener. It lay draped across David's side of the bed, a blatant intruder in their shared sanctuary. For months, a subtle discord had vibrated beneath the surface of their 7-year marriage. David's once open demeanor had become guarded, his laughter less frequent, and his touch distant. His phone, his precious connection to the digital world, was now fiercely protected, passwords changed, and silenced notifications his constant companion. Maya, an accomplished architect known for her sharp eye and meticulous planning, felt a chilling premonition, a blueprint of betrayal forming in her mind. The illusion shattered on a seemingly ordinary Wednesday. David, with a practiced air of exhaustion, announced a late-night client meeting. Maya, who had envisioned a cozy evening, felt a familiar pang of disappointment. As she tidied their living space, a forgotten external hard drive, tucked away in a dusty drawer, caught her eye. It contained backups of their old photos and videos, a nostalgic archive of their life together. On a whim, she plugged it into her laptop. Amidst the folders of shared memories, one stood out: Project Phoenix. David, a cybersecurity expert, often used codenames. Phoenix, a symbol of rebirth, felt unsettlingly ironic. Inside, the digital phoenix rose in a blaze of infidelity. Hundreds of images chronicled a clandestine affair spanning the last 2 years. David, his eyes crinkling with genuine joy, a joy Maya hadn't seen directed at her in months, embraced a woman with fiery red hair. They dined in intimate restaurants Maya had never heard of, explored sun-drenched beaches on weekends David claimed to be overseeing server updates, and celebrated anniversaries Maya thought were spent working late. The dates mocked her trust, each photograph a sharp shard of betrayal piercing her heart. The meticulously planned dinner she was preparing now smelled like ash in her nostrils. The love she had so freely given felt cheapened, discarded. Tears streamed down her face, blurring the grinning image of David with her. 2 years. He had woven an intricate web of lies, a double life conducted with cold precision, while she remained blissfully, foolishly unaware. Rage, sharp and visceral, threatened to consume her. But beneath the burning fury, a cold, calculating resolve began to solidify. This wasn't just a broken heart. It was a calculated act of deceit, and it demanded a meticulously crafted response. Maya became a ghost in her own home, her every interaction with David a carefully orchestrated performance. She laughed at his jokes, nodded at his stories, all the while meticulously gathering evidence. She secretly copied every file from the hard drive, backing them up in multiple secure locations. She learned Clara's name from a carelessly tagged photo and delved into her online presence, a world of vibrant art and superficial pronouncements of love for a man who was not truly hers. Maya, leveraging her architectural skills, began to draft a plan. Not a plan of impulsive anger, but a strategic dismantling of David's carefully constructed life. She consulted a sharp, discreet lawyer who specialized in high-profile divorce cases. In Singapore, while adultery itself isn't a criminal offense, providing evidence of it can significantly influence the court's decisions regarding the division of marital assets, especially when demonstrating unreasonable behavior. Maya's lawyer advised her to document everything: the photos, the dates, any inconsistencies in David's stories. Maya went further. She hired a forensic accountant to meticulously trace their finances, uncovering a separate account David had been secretly funding. This account, she discovered, was used for lavish gifts and getaways with Clara. The discovery fueled her simmering rage into a controlled burn. The confrontation, when it came, was not a tearful outburst, but a calculated execution. Maya waited until their 5th wedding anniversary, a date David had, ironically, made elaborate plans for. As he presented her with a diamond bracelet, a hollow gesture that now felt like an insult, Maya calmly led him to the dining room. Spread across the mahogany table were hundreds of printed photos, a visual timeline of his 2-year betrayal. David's bravado crumbled. The color drained from his face as he stared at the irrefutable evidence. His stammered denials quickly dissolved into pathetic pleas for forgiveness, claims of a momentary lapse in judgment, an emotional connection he couldn't explain. Maya listened with an icy detachment, the words washing over her, like meaningless noise. "Our anniversary gift to each other, David," she said, her voice dangerously low, "is the end of this charade. I want a divorce." But divorce wasn't the full extent of Maya's plan. She wanted to dismantle his carefully crafted world, brick by deceitful brick. David's career in cybersecurity was built on trust and integrity. A single crack in that foundation could bring it all crashing down. Using her network of contacts, Maya anonymously leaked carefully selected, non-explicit photos and details of David's long-term affair to a prominent online forum frequented by cybersecurity professionals. The posts hinted at a senior figure in the industry who had been leading a double life for years, questioning his judgment and trustworthiness. While she didn't name him directly, the details she provided were specific enough for those within his close professional circle to connect the dots. Simultaneously, Maya approached Clara, not with fury, but with cold, hard facts. She presented Clara with copies of the photos, the financial records, and even a timeline of David's promises. Promises of leaving his wife, promises that were clearly lies. Maya watched with a detached satisfaction as the realization of her role as the other woman in a long-term deceit dawned on Clara. The ensuing public breakup, amplified by Clara's dramatic social media posts, further tarnished David's already dwindling reputation. But Maya's most audacious move was yet to come. David had been working on a highly sensitive government contract, his team on the verge of securing a lucrative extension. Maya, through her work as an architect, had connections in unexpected places. Using publicly available information and her understanding of David's professional network, she anonymously alerted the relevant authorities to the rumors circulating about a senior figure within the contracting team, suggesting a potential lapse in ethical conduct and security protocols due to personal issues. The ensuing internal investigation, though it didn't directly link David's affair to a security breach, raised enough red flags about his judgment and potential vulnerabilities to cost him the contract extension. David, once on the cusp of a major career breakthrough, found his professional trajectory abruptly halted. The divorce was a swift and decisive victory for Maya. Armed with her meticulous evidence, she secured a substantial settlement, including their marital home and a significant share of David's future earnings potential. He was left with a fractured career, a public scandal, and the bitter taste of his own deceit. Months later, Maya stood in her living room, the crimson scarf long gone. The house felt lighter, filled with the quiet strength of her resilience. Her revenge hadn't been a fit of passionate anger, but a carefully architected demolition of the life David had built on lies. She had not only reclaimed her life, but had ensured he faced the full consequences of his betrayal, a phoenix rising from the ashes of his deception.